Hi, and welcome back to the second part of the story of the Rooster of Basel. So here with me today is another one of my foster roosters, Haas, who's going to help me tell the story. And Haas is looking for a home. Yesterday, I told you about a rooster who was arrested in 1474 in Basel, Switzerland for the crime of witchcraft, as evidenced by the fact that he laid an egg. I also told you how the people of Basel thought that the only way that this could happen was through demonic possession, and that whatever was in that egg was a horrible monster. Today we're going to talk about the trial. So the record of the trial was made 150 years after the fact by a chronicler named Johannes Gross. He outlines what happened in the trial and the bird's defense, because the Swiss, being a fair-minded people, did allow the rooster to have defense counsel. And the defense counsel made the case that the rooster was unable to enter into a pact with the devil, which meant that he could not be guilty. I'm going to read from the chronicle here. On behalf of the gallinaceous prisoner, the facts of the case were admitted, but his advocate submitted that no evil animus had been proved against his client and no injury to man or beast had resulted. Besides, the laying of the egg was an involuntary act and as such not punishable by law. If it was intended to impute the crime of sorcery to his client, he was entitled to acquittal, for there was no instance on record of Satan having made a compact with one of the brute creation. But the prosecutor countered with a biblical precedent, from the gospel no less, in which Jesus casts demons into a group of swine. Reading again from the chronicle, it was not a case of the devil making a compact with brutes, but that Satan actually entered into them on occasion, and he adduced the case of the Gadrean swine, and the fact that these animals, though involuntary agents like the cock, had been punished. So the prosecution won the day, and Gross reported, in the month of August in the year 1474, a cock of this city was accused and convicted of the crime of laying eggs and was condemned to be burnt with one of his eggs in the Kucklenberg, or public square. So there you have it. Medieval court held that even though the rooster could not himself make a pact with the devil, he could still be punished for his bad luck. Now, one thing that's interesting about this is that the defense never called into question the facts of the case. It seems indisputable that the egg, in fact, came from that rooster. Now, this case predates the scientific method, but it doesn't predate common sense. So we can assume that the people of Basel had some reason to believe that, in fact, that egg did come from that rooster. So then you might wonder if in fact they mistook a hen for a rooster. Well, chickens are notoriously difficult to sex when they're chicks, but once they've grown into maturity, mature enough to lay an egg, you can easily tell a hen from a rooster. And it's unlikely that the people of 15th century Switzerland, who lived with and raised and slaughtered their own livestock, would make the mistake of not being able to tell the difference. So, what is the difference on the inside? Is it possible for a rooster to lay an egg? Does a rooster have the gear to lay an egg? Well, we're going to explore that question tomorrow as we go into how chicks develop, how gender develops, and how chickens reproduce. And maybe that will shed some light on the mystery of the Rooster of Basel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And in the meantime, I hope that you'll remember Haas is looking for a home, And here at Ponderosa Plains Farm, we guarantee that none of our roosters is now or ever has been in a pact with the devil.